गं गणपते नमः। हे माता सरस्वते नमः। ओम नमः माता गंगेश्वरी नमः। ओम नमः माता गौरी नमः। श्री राधे कृष्णाय, श्री राधे कृष्णाय, कृष्णाय गोविंदाय हरि ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। वासुदेवाय विश्वेश्वराय आदि पुरुषय परम्पार पुरुषाय नमः। जगत बंधु ज्योति स्वरूपा जियति जानन हरियश मांगन आया हूँ प्रभु दास तुम्हारे द्वारा। देवर कृष्ण चंद्र पद गुरु शरण। साथ ही बात है, एक साथ कहती है रख लिया है। साथी कहती है कि जल से पतला कौन है, कौन भूमि से भारी, कौन अग्नि से तेज है और कौन काजल से काली। जल से पतला ज्ञान है, पाप भूमि से भारी, क्रोध अग्नि से तेज है और कलंक है काजल से काली। बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण भाई जी। जय श्री कृष्ण। No, that's fine. तो हम जब ज्ञान की बात कर रहे थे या दान की बात, तो चैप्टर 8 में एक गुना थी, लास्ट ट्रैक ऑफ इट, बट कहा गया था कि सबसे उत्तम यानी परमम ज्ञान दान है। ज्ञान का दान सबसे परमम माना गया है। सो जस्ट जनरल डिस्कशन, हम लोग दान की बात बहुत करते हैं और दान में जब जाएंगे तो हम लोग यहाँ पर अगर आप चलते चलो जाओगे और कहा है कि सब दान करना चाहिए इत्यादि इत्यादि, क्या है कर्म है, लेकिन कहीं पर नहीं बताया गया। जैसे हम लोग विवाह शादी का कन्यादानम महादानम या गौदानम महादानम, यहाँ पे एंटायर श्री कृष्ण की बात भगवत गीता में इज नॉट इवन मेंशन है, और जो मेंशन है उसको हम लोग इग्नोर कर देते हैं। दैट्स आवर ट्रेट। तो ज्ञान दान कैसे किया जाता है इत्यादि इत्यादि, उसको हमने समझाया और बताया। लेकिन किस श्लोक में है अभी मैं नहीं कह सकता कहाँ है, बट लेकिन वो ज्ञान दान तो हमें नहीं भूलना चाहिए कि ज्ञान दान है क्या, क्या है, नॉलेज है इत्यादि। तो ज्ञान दान से, ज्ञान से हम जब जाते हैं तो हम हारते हैं फिर कि कृष्ण जी कहते हैं, शुरू हो जाती है जहां तक मैं सोचता हूँ चैप्टर 4 वर्स 29 में कि अपने जुहात प्राणाम प्राणे अपनाम तथा अपरे प्राण आपान गतिर्दा प्राण आयाम पर आयना. Krishna ji starts talking about pranayam इत्यादि from chapter 4 verse 29, जिसको जो ध्यान योग chapter 6 को कहा गया है, लेकिन शुरू हो जाती है, लेकिन ध्यान योग और ज्ञान योग एक दूसरे से मिलती है. और वो क्योंकि कहा जाता है कि जब तक इंसान ब्रह्म में नहीं होता है तब तक वो आते जाते रहता है. चैप्टर 8 वर्स 13 में कहा गया, ओम इति अक्षरम ब्रह्म विहारणाम वाम अनसमर अनम या प्रयंती तज्जम मंदेहम सायति परमम गति. अगर मोक्ष मोक्ष कहा जाता है कि यहाँ पे जब क्रियाक्रम होता है, कोई मर जाता है, वो ये करने से मोक्ष मोक्ष, लेकिन मोक्ष है क्या? कृष्ण जी बताते हैं जाके कि मोक्ष उसको कहते हैं, अगर हम चलेंगे, कि फिर से संसार में जब फिर लौट के आया गाया नहीं जाता है, उसी को मोक्ष कहा गया है. और वेदों ने भी, यानी वेदेषु यज्ञसु तपस्सु चायवा, यहाँ पर कहा गया दानेषु यत् पुण्य फलम प्रदेशतमा अति अतीता सर्वम इदम विदम इच्वा योगी परमम स्थान उपागहम. तो जितने मोक्ष का इंसान बात करता है, वो किसकी बात कर रहे हैं? स्वर्ग की बात कर रहे हैं. और स्वर्ग से फिर इंसान कहाँ आता है? संसार में. फिर ये आवागमन टूटती नहीं है और लगी रहती है. तो जब हम कैसे जाते हैं, किस तरह से ढंग बताया गया है, किस तरह से परम गति होगी. ना दाना ने ना तपसा ना यज्ञ ना यव विधि अर्जुन. कहाँ पे बताया गया? चैप्टर 11 में. ना दाना ने ना तपसा ना यज्ञ ना यव विधि अर्जुन. तपसा विभाय अधिका योगी ज्ञानी अधिका विभा योगी कर्मी अधिका विभा योगी तस्मात् योगी भव अर्जुन. Therefore, योगी भवा अर्जुन. तो प्राणायाम से पहले चैप्टर 6 में वो बताते हैं कैसे अपने आप को संभालना, कैसे अपने आप को ध्यान में रखना. तो हम थोड़े में जाते हैं. तो चैप्टर 6 वर्स 12 में अर्जुन से क्या कहते हैं? फर्स्ट यू हैव टू बिकम वन पॉइंटेड फोकस्ड, and this requires a lot of training. This does not, time restraint is not going to do it, because अगर हम time restraint से कार्य करेंगे, बस उतने आपको मिलेगा जितना आपका, you're going to get what you deserve or the amount of effort you put in. Doesn't matter what it is. तो कहते हैं प्रत्यवा अर्गम मन कृत्वा यम ताचित इंद्रिये क्रिया अपविषम आसानेय जरात योगम आत्मविशुद्धते. कहते हैं one pointed mind, focus yourself, get everything out of yourself इत्यादि. यम ताचित इंद्रिय क्रिया, control mind and senses. अभी केवल नहीं बता रहे हैं कैसे. This is not an instruction, right? This is just a lecture. वो बता रहे कैसे क्या करना है आपको, not how to do it, what to do it. It's a big difference. गीता में बहुत चीज बताया कैसे योगी बनना है, कैसे प्राणायाम करना. It doesn't tell you that. It just tells you प्राणायाम करना. That's what it tells you. प्राणायाम करने के लिए आपको उससे लेना पड़ेगा जो जिसको इसके अनुभव है. गुरुओं को बहुत तरह से. अपविश्य आसने प्रजापात योगन अविशुद्धते. तो कृष्ण कहते हैं यू गेट सीटेड. मैं बहुत होता है नीचे बैठना. नो, यू जस्ट सीटेड द परफेक्ट वे, द बेस्ट वे यू कैन. जैसे तुमको ध्यान लगे, चेयर पे बैठ करके घोड़ क्रॉस करते हैं, घोड़ा रोक करते हैं, आई डू इट. जब उम्र हो जाता अगर नीचे बैठ करके कर सकते हैं, या ऐसे रख लिया और यहाँ पे घोड़ दोनों जोड़ लिया. इफ यू कैन जॉइन योर बॉडी, यानी उप विषय आसने. आसने यानी आसन. किस तरह से आप आसन धारण करते, कहीं नहीं बताया कि चमड़ा के ऊपर आसन बैठना है इत्यादि. Gita doesn't talk about those kind of things, right? Yogam at vishuddhate. Practice yoga for self purification. That's the word. पहले अपने आप को प्यूरिफाई करें, वहां पे ब्रह्म आपको दर्शन नहीं होने लगेगा। क्यों ये सब बताते हैं? क्योंकि that's this is like almost 60% of Bhagavad Gita, and यही जो 60% of Bhagavad Gita है, mostly we ignore it, we don't pay attention to it. Either it's too difficult, or we think it's a joke, or we think it's not for me kind of thing, क्योंकि हम material world में हैं और संसारिक है। और जैसे प्राणायाम मैंने कहा चैप्टर 4 वर्स 29 में शुरू कर दिया कृष्ण। फिर कहते हैं कैसे serene minded. Now again, what, not how. So don't confuse what with how. What कहते हैं कृष्ण जी चैप्टर 6:14 में, प्रशांत आत्मा विगत तभी ब्रह्मचार बरते स्थितः मन सम्यहम मदचितः यदत आसिता मद परः। प्रशांत, शांति, serene, prashant, serene. The word is little more than shanti. Serene, serenity. शांति है, भावना अलग है, इत्यादि और उदय। और विगत आत्मा, fearless, what you're going to go through. There's all kinds of changes you're going to go through. If you're really going into deep, controlling awakening and all that, and we'll see what time I got 1 hour. So I'll try to cover basically the average of things here. विगत तभी, fearless. योगा fear. हाँ बताते बहुत डर, ऐसे करोगे ये हो जाएगा, कुछ नहीं बताते, become fearless. Can't jump into an ocean if you don't know how to swim, but if you really know how to do those things, you're gonna have to be fearless. but बहुत ज्ञान देते हैं। ब्रह्मचार्य बरते स्थिता. Brahmacharya has nothing to do over here with sex related, right? It basically is called, unattached. आप पति पत्नी भी हैं, राम और सीता साथ में थी, but ब्रह्मवास में तो you can get unattached very quickly. पत्नी अपन किचन में है, पति अपना रूम में है या स्टडी रूम में है, इत्यादि इत्यादि। तो ब्रह्मचार्य बहुवाचक है यहाँ पर, ठीक है। कृष्ण जी कहूँ नहीं किया कि गृहस्थी में है तो आपको डिवोर्स करके तब चले जाना जंगल में। अर्जुन क्या तुम्हें, what are you trying to do? I mean, let it be factual, right? This is what we think, this is what we have been taught, this is what जो है सब धारण कर लिए, that's how they talk, but this is not what he is saying, right? एक बता रहे हैं जो गृहस्थी में है, जो सन्यासी उसको नहीं वह ज्ञान दे रहे हैं, गृहस्थियों के लिए ज्ञान है। और कैसे वो हो गए हम फिर चलते हैं आगे जब बताएंगे, लेकिन अभी बताते हैं व्हाट। फिर कहा है मना सम्यहम मद चित्तः यजत आस्किता मद परः। कंट्रोल योर माइंड with या thinking of me कहते हैं, or thinking of Shivaji, or thinking of light, or thinking of lake, or thinking of sorrow, or calmness. However you can get single focus, क्योंकि मन जो है आप आंखें मूंद के भी विचार करेंगे, फोकस नहीं हो, is gonna start thinking of all kinds of things. Doesn't matter what, जो आता हो जाता है। जब एक फोकस है तो आएगा चला जाएगा, फिर आप उसी फोकस पे चले जाएंगे। Why are we going into that focus? Because we are trying to go inside of us instead of outside of us, right? So माइंड को हम क्या करते हैं, एक सिंगल फोकस करके माइंड को कंफ्यूज कर देते हैं और माइंड को कंट्रोल कर लेते हैं। माइंड को वहां भागने, वही में फोकस है। अंत में जब आप रियली कुंडलिनी आपकी जब खुलने लगेगी, इत्यादि होने लगेगी, and we'll not talk about that, तो वो फोकस भी नहीं रह जाएगा, it's going to dissipate। मंत्र का कार्य है कि आपको, मंत्र इस क्या है, मन यंत्र, यंत्र डिवाइस, किसका डिवाइस, माइंड, डिवाइस ऑफ द माइंड, यानी इस व्हीकल आपको एक जगह पहुंचा दे। एक बस है, आपको एक जगह पहुंचा दिया, मेरा कार ट्रक वहां बाहर खड़ा है। नाउ आई डोंट हैव अ नीड फॉर इट, यू डोंट हैव अ नीड फॉर मंत्र वन यू आर देयर। यजता आयस्ता मद परहा, एंड देन you can attain the supreme goal. Madpara, that's your goal here, supreme goal, क्योंकि संसार से फिर आना जाना ना, ना अति आश, कौन कर सकता है योगी? योग में जिसको जाना, पहले ये सब ट्रेनिंग आपको करनी पड़ेगी. Meditation is not a simple thing. If you think you can just start sit there and focus, it's not going to happen. So he's telling you, chapter 6 verse 16, na ati ashanta tu yogi asti na cha ekantam an ashantaha na cha ati swapna shio tasya jagat na ivacha arjunaha. Na ati ashanta, not the person who eats too much or out of time or here and there and focus on just eating and all that. Na tu yogi asti. This ain't gonna happen. Right? Na cha ekante, और ना जो कहता कि भूखा उपासना करके रहेंगे. It's not for yogi. You can go उपासना करके कुछ और तपस्या करके कुछ और व्रत है, but not for meditation, not for that. That's what the Bhagavad Gita states. Na cha ekantam an ashnataha. Yeah, jo sochta haan, I'm not going to eat. Na cha ati swapna shilasya, jo swapna shilasya usko kehte hai jo nindra. You are sleeping too much. Adults ko requirement hai, they need 7 hours of sleep according to the modern science, right? But if you sleep in 14 hours, you know the difference. Right? और देर में उठते हो नहीं होता, कब उठ के कब किया जाता है, समय किसका क्या है. Then meditation can be done anytime. जागृत ना या चा अरे जना, meaning जो सोना नहीं मापता है, कहता है I'm going to stay awake for 14-18 hours etc. और कहते हैं chapter 6 verse 17 कि योग में जब इंसान आता है तब ही उसका सब जो क्या होता है, पीड़ा अपने से हटने लगता है. Things start happening automatically. सर्वभूत स्थम आत्मनम सर्वभूतानि च आत्मनि इच्छते योग युक्त आत्मः सर्वर्थ समदर्शनः. Chapter 6 verse 29 में, once you get perfection in yoga, तो क्या होता है, सब भूत में, बोलने के नहीं, सिया राम में देखे संसार, आपको कोई बताने के नहीं, आपको स्वयं अपने दिखाने लगेगा. सर्वभूत स्थम आत्मनम. You, that's your अनुभव, your experience. तुम जात पात नहीं निहारोगे, हमारा लड़का हिंदुस्तानी शादी उसके ही है बहुत पढ़ा लिखा. These things not gonna happen to you. You're not gonna go there, sit and start talking about your education or कितना हाई लेवल के हो, कौन क्लास के हो, कौन स्टेटस हो, ब्राह्मण हो, क्षत्रिय हो, शर्मा हो, शांडिल हो, कि महाराज हो कि क्या हो. जात पात कुल धर्म बढ़ाई, धन बल परिजन गुण चतुराई अपने कट के नीचे गिर जाए. यही हमारा 10 मूल है. सुनो भामिनी मोरिया बाता, मान हूँ एक प्रेम की नाता. जात पात कुल धर्म बढ़ाई, धन बल परिजन गुण चतुराई. नहीं मानो एक हो यही ज्ञाता, मान हूँ एक प्रेम की नाता. ये सब रावण का मूल. राम मारते हैं, कट के गिर जाता, फिर लग जाता हो. ये बहुवाचक है, गिरता या कटता है नहीं. वो कटने से कोई और भगवान हम काट के गिराएंगे, वो हमारा फिर लग जाएगा. जबले अपने हम उसे तोड़ करके नहीं, तब उनका नाभि हमारे रम में लगेगा. रम जो हमारी नाभि है, जहाँ पर इटर्नल कहते ब्रह्म वास करता है. जब हम बात करते कहाँ पे वो वास करते हैं, गॉड विद इन अस. तो क्या आते हैं, सर्वभूतानि च आत्मनि, और सभी को अपने अंदर देखोगे. ऑल इन वन, वन इन ऑल. अब क्या कहा कृष्ण ने, नहीं कि ओम में है सब तुम्हारे ही अंदर है. जस्ट थिंक ऑफ इट. ही इज गिविंग अ डिफरेंट काइंड. नो अर्जुन, no, not everything is in Om. Om is in you, therefore everything is in you. Where does it say that? Chapter 6 verse 29. सर्वभूत स्थम आत्मनम सर्वभूतानि च आत्मनि. जब तुम्हारे अंदर आत्मा, तो उसके अंदर सब. There's no difference. You are just a wave in this whole ocean, and all the waves are within you. इक्षते योग युक्त आत्मा सर्वर्थ समदर्शनः. इक्षते योग युक्त आत्मा. Now you can, that's your third eye. That's it, open. और क्या होता है, एवरीवेयर सेम और सम दर्शन, अपने आप ही को सभी में देख रहे हो, दैट इज, तब हम करते हैं नमस्ते। I salute that in you, that is the same in me, नमस्ते, तब दंडवत प्रणाम करता जाता है ना? यामं पश्यामि सर्वत्र सर्वं चामयि पश्यति, तस्य अहं न प्रणश्यामि, सा चामे न पनश्यति। अर्जुन, he who sees everywhere, or Brahm in everywhere, Brahm, the Atman, वही है, just the waves of the ocean in everywhere, and all in me, and all and everybody, all in one, one in all, कहा जाते हैं। That's what Om means. That's the ten or twelve. तस्य अहं न पश्यामि, वो इंसान is never alone, वो कभी हेराया नहीं, nobody is gonna lose track of it. सा चामे न प्रणश्यन्ति, don't I, कहते हैं, और nor I become lost to him, कभी हम उसके दर्शन से बाहर नहीं, ब्रह्म उसके दर्शन से कभी बाहर नहीं। ओम इति अर्जुन बताते हैं। This is the basics. We are going with the foundation. अभी जैसे ऐसे what में है, how में नहीं, right? It's a big difference. इसी से लोग जब what खाली पढ़ लेते हैं गीता की, जब हम पढ़ते हैं अब हो जाते हैं how को, how to get there, right? अर्जुन उवाच, अर्जुन पूछते हैं कि इतना भारी भारी आप बात कर दिया और ये सब कितना कठिन है, अभी अर्जुन ढंग को नहीं समझ पाए, और अर्जुन क्या करना योगी थे। तो अर्जुन पूछते कि व्हाट अबाउट आर्म पीपल, नॉर्मल पीपल जो धर्म में है, कर्म में है, ज्ञान इत्यादि इत्यादि ये सब कर रहे हैं। आयति श्रद्धाय उपितः योगत चलित मानसः, अप्रापाये योग सिंधि महा, काम गतिम कृष्ण गच्छितः, काम गतिम कृष्णम गच्छिता, काम गतिम कृष्णम गच्छिता। लेकिन हे आयति, हम तो संसार के जीव जंतु को पालन पोषण करते हैं, यहाँ है काम है, हो जाते हैं, ये करते हैं, ये सब में फंसे लाते हैं, और उस लेवल की अटेनमेंट नहीं है, हो नहीं सकती है। माइंड है जो डिविएट, सब तरह इधर से उधर भाग रहा है। अप्रायु योग संधितम, यानी ये जो हम लोग अटेन नहीं कर पाएंगे ये लेवल कि ब्रह्म में हो सकते हैं। दिस इज द सिचुएशन, 99.99% ऑफ द सिचुएशन अर्जुन जानते हैं। ससंधितम काम, और परफेक्शन इन योग तो आ नहीं पाएंगे कि सभी जगह पे आपको दे बोले तो बोलेंगे हर वक्त, अपने आप को रिमाइंड करते हैं, श्यामा राम में देखे संसारा, और राम राम भी कहेंगे, नमस्ते करते लेकिन नमस्ते का अर्थ भी नहीं जानते, और ये सब करते। काम गतिम कृष्ण गच्छति, तो क्या उनका जब बोलते थे नहीं है, उनका ये संस्कार नहीं हुआ, ये चीज नहीं, क्या उस नरक में पड़े रहेंगे? गतिम, उनकी बुरी गति होगी। श्री भगवान आज कृष्ण जी बोलते नहीं अर्जुन, पार्थना युहाना अमृतम विनाशतस्य वेदते, नाहि कल्याण कृतिकांचिता, दुर्गतिं तात गच्छति, दुर्गति तात गच्छति। दुर्गति जानते हैं ना, दुर्गति। तो पार्थ निया युहाना अमृतम, दैट्स व्हाई कृष्णा गारंटीज यू। जो कहते हैं जो धर्म में है, धर्म को यहाँ पर you can repeat some of that later on, बताने कि धर्म में जो है और उसी में आ गया है, धर्म में फैलावा हुआ शब्द, धर्म को पहले समझना है क्या, अपना कर्म करता इन अकॉर्डेंस विद द धर्म, जरूर आना जाना होगा अर्जुन, लेकिन उसका ना नाश यहाँ है धरती पे, कीर्ति भी रहेगी। तब तो अर्जुन को बताए आकीर्तिमान, तुम अपना कर्म से भाग रहे हो तो आकीर्तिमान है, दैट्स व्हाट ही इज सेइंग, राइट। और ना स्वर्ग में, मीनिंग यू गोना गो टू स्वर्ग, चाहे कोई क्रिया कर्म करे या ना करे, Who said it? Krishna said it. Where does it say in Bhagavad Gita? Which? Chapter 6, verse 40. Vinash tasya vedate, no destruction. दुगति नहीं हो, और वो दुगति भी बताया दिया नहीं, ना ही कल्याण कृत काचिता दुगति तात गच्छति, उसका दुर्गति नहीं है. सो चाहे जितना और we live with the scripture, बोले है अपने स्क्रिप्चर में faith रखो. This is our scripture is telling never दुगति तात गच्छति, कभी ना ही कल्याण कृत कांचिता, उसका कल्याण यहाँ पे अच्छा काम कोई करता, अपने लड़कन बच्चन के पढ़ता है, स्कूल पढ़ता है, नहीं इन धर्म, पहला धर्म जाना is within that धर्म boundaries. दुर्गति उसका कभी दुर्गति नहीं है. One time I think I said it to you guys, जो 12 years vegetarian है उसका तो क्रियाकर्म नहीं है. And you find that in one of the Vedas, right? If you really look for it. तो यहाँ पर कृष्ण जी क्रिया कर देते हैं. So but लेकिन है वो सब में तुम आना जाना लेकिन लगा रहेगा ना. तो अर्जुन से बताते हैं, लेकिन अर्जुन listen to me, don't worry about perfection. This is what कि हमें इतना perfection होगा उस लेवल पे. Do not worry about perfection. What are you supposed to do? पूर्वया भी आसेन ते यवां हियते ही अवशा आपिसहा जिज्ञासु आप योगस्य शब्द ब्रह्म अर्वतते. कहते हैं फोमा प्रैक्टिस, यू प्रैक्टिस, और जो फोमा प्रैक्टिस है अगले अगले जन्म की आपके, वो मिट नहीं जाएगा. अच्छा यहाँ अच्छे घर पे जन्म करेंगे, राइट, बोर्न टू फॉलोअर्स यार. फिर यते ही अवशा आपिसहा, यानी यू गोना कम, यू आर हेल्पलेस, कहाँ पे तुम जन्म लेंगे, बेस्ड ऑन योर डीड्स. तो अच्छे घर पे जन्म लोगे जहां पर ज्ञान की बातें होगी. Why are we born where we are born? We need to question that. जिज्ञासु आप योग ऐसा, he who wishes to know yoga शब्द ब्रह्म अर्वतते, तो ब्रह्म का शब्द बियॉन्ड जाता. तो यहाँ पे कहते हैं चैप्टर 6. तो चैप्टर 6 में आप पढ़ देंगे तो वहां पे बताता अच्छे घर में जन्म लेंगे, कौन किसके घर में जन्म लेता. तो he's already guaranteed us all that. in chapter 6 में ये सब गारंटी हमको मिल चुकी है. कहाँ पर? अपने कर्म के अनुसार हम जन्म लेंगे. प्रयत्नात् मदमान तु योगी संशोधन कलेबशः अनेक जन्म संध्यतः तत्याति परां गति, तत्याति परां गति, तत्याति परां गति. कृष्ण जी कहते हैं कि striving after many जन्म, years नहीं, many जन्मों के बाद योगी समशुद्ध कलिब से, तब प्यूरिफाइड होकर के इंसान उस योग रूप को धारण करता है. and he can attain that kind of level of purified person, of purity rather. अनेक जन्म संसिद्धते, perfected through many births. लेकिन जहां से आप शुरू किए हो आप वहीं से जाने, तात यति परम गति, तब उसको परम गति मिलती है. तो कहते हैं तपसा विभाय अधिका योगी. I say that many times. Where does he say that? Chapter 6 verse 46. तपसा विभा अधिका योगी ज्ञानी भया अभि अधिका योगी कर्मी भया चा अधिका योगी तस्मात् योगी भव अर्जुनः. Why? क्योंकि जितने कर्म हैं, जितने धर्म हैं, they are like water in a pipe. Controlled water आपको मिल रही है. And control through what? The scriptures, rules, regulations. What is Vedas? It's rules, regulations, how to do, how to stay in this what? I call it Hari Garbha. Hari Garbha जानते हैं? The womb of Hari. What is that? The universe. The Avagaman. You are staying in that. That it's control. You are doing it. या सुखी रहोगे, जाओगे, अच्छा रहेगा, इंद्र भी बन जाओगे, जो कुछ भी हमें बनना है, अच्छे अच्छे कमाए, यू डू हार्ड वर्क, यू नो, achieve the fruits of it. It's no harm. Or you go the bad word, you're going to achieve the fruits of that too. Because they have consequences of your deeds. You're going to have to face the consequences of your deeds. So consequences है, चाहे वेदस के रूल्स हो, चाहे कोई स्क्रिप्चर्स के रूल है, जितने हम करते हैं, अभी सोच के नहीं अपना क्रियाक्रम हम करते हैं, बेस्ड ऑन सर्टेन रूल्स, सर्टेन रिक्वायरमेंट्स, सर्टेन expectations. जब योगी हो जाते हैं, those things are all gone. Just imagine, हमारे घर में पाइप है, जितना है कंट्रोल भी और कोई कमती है, ड्राउट हो गया, कमती पानी मिलेगा, इत्यादि इत्यादि, लेकिन आप ओशन के किनारे या सब नदी के किनारे, तालाब के किनारे, इज नो कंट्रोल, उस ओशन भरा हुआ है. इट्स लाइक अ डिफरेंस. यू कैन यूज व्हाटएवर यू वांट, इट्स अ फ्रीडम एंड व्हाट नॉट, बट चाहे जहां पर, तो जितने हमारे स्क्रिप्चर्स है, जो यानी दे आर कंट्रोल, कंट्रोल है सबकी, उस कंट्रोल में हम बस, इसीलिए इस ज्ञान को वेदांत कहा गया है. नाउ यू आर गोइंग आउट ऑफ द वेदस, और शब्द दिया गया उपनिषद. उपनिषद, तो यहाँ पे देखोगे ए उपनिषद है. कौन उपनिषद है? ये मुकुंद उपनिषद 3.8 जो योगा के बारे में बात हो, सब उपनिषद है. उपनिषद क्या करती है? उपनिषद इज आउट ऑफ द वेदस. भगवत गीता को भी उपनिषद कहा गया है. जब हर एक चैप्टर कर लिया आ जाता तो हम उसको कहते हैं उपनिषद. और नाउ इट्स between you, Atma and Paramatma, not controlled by any other rules that we are so that all our bodily functions and everything else is supposed to be, you know, maintained, etc. and etc. 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 आते हैं फाइनल वर्स ध्यान योग में, ध्यान करने की. योगीनाम अपि सर्वेषां मदत्तेन आत्मना श्रद्धावान भजते ये मां सामे युष्टम तम मन्यतः. तब उसके बाद कृष्ण जी जाते हैं और बताते हैं, अब चलो हम तो चैप्टर 6 से चैप्टर 7 में जंप हो जाते हैं कि मनुष्य सोचता है कि वो योग करने लगता. तो पहले let's brush up on धर्म little bit, just a little bit. हम सोचते हैं हम धर्म में हैं. Are you in धर्म? Just for this life. And this is very important. Dharma has basically 10 commandments and commandments within commandments, subsections. Right? तो योग में जाने से पहले, प्राणायाम में जाने से पहले हम आपको बताते हैं, योग शुरू होता है अष्टांग योग, 8 एस्पेक्ट्स तुम्हें प्यूरिफिकेशन प्रोसेस है. यम योग, रूल्स. 2 niyam, regulations, right? Asana is basically correct way to use your body. Simple, हमें थोड़ा थोड़ा यहाँ दर्द होने लगा है इत्यादि, you will know. And the flexibility, क्योंकि हम आगन कैसे गरुड़ आसन है, गरुड़ आसन के verification. For example, हमें यहाँ पे stress होने लगा, कहीं में stress होने लगा, we have stress over here. Suddenly, you can do a very simple yoga asana, come आपको एक आसन, without showing one eye asana, you can do it, asana, right? So you go like this, everybody go like this, let's see, you can do it, and slowly, like focus on your, over here, focus on your breath, but you will go, इसको बोले shadow yoga and hatha yoga, right? So you focus on your breath and you're relaxing your shoulders and you bring it over here, relax, and then you just slowly take that over here. You turn slowly, turn it around, like you are, right? And grab it, right? Straight. Now turn it inside, touch your cheeks, right? And stretch it slowly, slowly, and put one hand over the other. I'm only 72 years old. And if you can straight and focus every, and you can bring it down, and you can, if you focus quietly, you can bring that down all the way. Sit, and then the whole body, it just relaxes your body and takes the whole pain away, in a matter of seconds. So there are all these, here yoga is basically vinyasa yoga is in combining with what we call hatha yoga with shadow yoga, right? Vinyasa shadow yoga, which basically you are not really doing, but the mind is doing it. You're letting the mind take control, and the pain is relieved enough now. So it's that's just telling you how each asana. So there are many asanas. Ityadi, right? Kind of thing. But there are aspects of it. I mean, there is just one in a tendonitis, tennis elbow, and there's not just seas over here or wherever you have land, but these are one thing that can do a lot of things. It's all part of your asana, right? So yeah, you can laugh at me, but old man is not
laughing at ourselves.
Yeah, right? As old as I look, I may pull triggers on you, you never know. But there are, I'm just saying, it looks so difficult when others are doing in there. But if you are focused, like you see on TV or actors, like the Sarvasana, you can put your legs up and, you can go down. They don't have to go on your Sirasana. But here, Sarvasana is for entire body. Saravangasana. And it basically what it does in a reverse format, it calms down your whole intestine, lungs, liver, all the organs when you backwards kind of thing, with your neck over here, right? And the mind is focusing. So everything. So pranayama, we're going to talk about that. The pranayama is science of breathing. There are several levels of breathing. Even if you can do one breathing, that'll be great. And pratyahara is control of our senses. Dharana is ability to direct our minds fixed in one object. Dharana, and dharam also has related to it. Or dhyan is ability to maintain your direction of concentration. And samadhi is complete control of yourself or the prana. So here pe, or basically, since I got somebody who may not understand Hindi that well, so just, you understand Hindi? I'm not picking on you. I'm just kind of, trying to be in service for you. Okay. So if you look at yam, it says ahimsa, non-injury. You can go into yoga. So yam and niyam, we're talking yam and niyam. First is ahimsa. Second is satyata, truth. Harmony and thought and trust. And third one, when we lie, we're lying to ourselves. Asteya, non-theft. Ability to resist desires for that which does not belong to us, or taking gifts you are not interested in. Bina mange devta bhi tumse mangne lagenge. You don't even ask for Devi Devta to give you. They're gonna ask you for stuff. Us jahan pe pahunchna chahiye. Get to a point where you're not even asking God or goddesses everything. Let them ask you to get to that level, right? That's brahmacharya, moderations in actions, and I have talked about brahmacharya, right? Non-attachment, etc. Whatever you are doing at that time, you have no attachment to anybody, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, when you try and get into that. Apigraha, giving up greed, attachment to possessions, material world, seva bhavana, service, right? So those are the five. And in niyam, saucha. Sauch means purity, cleanliness of body, mind, and spirit. Second is santosh, right? Or feeling a contentment, inner peacefulness. Tap means austerity, practice of control of mind, body, tapasya, right? Be on time, practice silence. If you have to do something, plan on things, right? Don't be like, doesn't matter what. That's the Brahman Kavya, chapter 18, verse Swadhaya, righteous, intense desire to know the truth. What is the intense desire? Not that somebody told you and this and Kathak storytelling, and you believe in it is okay. Find out what's the truth, like we were talking about yesterday. That's what becomes Ishwara Pradhana, surrender to God, surrendering to yourself. Self, big S-E-L-F, not somebody else. So that's the yam and niyam and other things, and we're gonna go into that. And that's now we're trying to become a yogi. These are the what's, not how. I didn't tell you how to. Right? That's kind of, and then we talked about Panch Mahayag, 5 levels of seva. That's it, right? And I'm service to right, divine qualities, given to all the teachers, service to all their ancestors, living and dead and whatever, and elders, not also elders, whoever all your elders are, or every elder is your ancestor, right? Naryag, meaning human services, devoted to service to render to mankind, and Bhutyag, all creatures big and small, and Devyag was the first one, is environment and nature and society and whatnot. And then they said there's a dharam has 4 legs, but what do they mean? Tap is you have discipline. That's what basically it means, discipline. What, right? Tap is nothing more than discipline for your body, for your mind, for your spirit. You have to have discipline, whatever you do, whatever you're doing. Be on time. Do it right. Right? Be attentive. If you're not paying attention, you could never learn the yoga. Right? Yagna, meaning sacrifice. We already went through those 5. Yagna. Yagna means service, non-attached kind of thing. Dan. Dan we talked about, all kinds of dan, right? All kinds of giving. The kindness is also giving, dan. Love is also dan, right? Forgiveness is also dan. Feelings, right? Feelings is also dan or charity. Devotion is also dan. Devotion is you are devoted to your kids, devoted to your country, devoted to satyata, truth. Know the truth, speak the truth, and live the truth, and the truth will set you free. Satyame jayati. That's what it means. Right? Satyame jayati is the Sanatan Dharam is the major big bold letters. Sometimes it's bigger than Om, consider, because Om is truth. Satyame jayati. Know the truth, speak the truth, and live the truth, and you shall set everything free. You would be free. So that's a little insight into what I call the whole summary overview of what is needed to become a yogi. Yogi is not some great clothes or orange shawls or Karua bars or some ascetic and all that. Krishna tells you that. These are the requirements. This is for Grahasti people. Grahasti is married family people that come to work, they go to work and all that. And that's what Bhagavad Gita is all about, right? So I said, what is needed? And we're going to go into some other things, how it is needed. Yeah, and then let's go to chapter 7, verse 1. Mai asajat manapar yogen yujya mad ashraya asam shayam samangam yatha jagyasu tat. Cling, mai asat manapar. First thing we talked about, 50 years ago, 25 years ago, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, he started, and when meditation, people didn't do some lot and whatnot, he started TM, Transcendental Meditation. TM became big in Americas, whether you go to Brazil or entire US, Canada, and entire Europe. And basically, the whole purpose was there. They gave you a mantra, and you focus on it, and you transcended from this body and transcended out. And well, I went to a lot of training of that transcendental meditation. So I went to Buddhists and I'm all of these things. You go through a lot of teachings and a lot, and do not say, oh, I went to this teacher, that teacher. No, there's a great Ramayana thing that I'm going to tell you in Arane Khan. I'm going to say it in Sanskrit or Ramayana in Hindi. Lakshman is asking Ram, oh, we have Guru Vasisht, we have Guru Vishwamindra, and we have which guru shall I say bow to, and which guru shall I say, okay, this is my real guru? What is I don't understand. And then Ramji saying, and I'm going to recite it in Hindi, Guru, Guru mein na bhed hai, Guru, Guru mein na bhav, शिक्षा शिक्षा ज्ञान ज्ञान की भेद है ज्ञान ज्ञान की भाव कुछ शिक्षा गुरु वशिष्ठ से तो कुछ गुरु विश्वामित्र के धाम इनमें कौन गुरु है बड़ा लक्ष्मण एक प्रश्न है अपमान You go to kindergarten, that's your teacher. It's going to teach you what you needed at that point. Now you are in high school, it's a different teacher. You're going to want to play basketball, it's a different teacher. No one is greater than the other. Not a single one is more important than the other, right? That's the teaching. That's the teaching. That's what when you become a yogi, these are the things become automatic to you. You are naturally into that. So when he says, when you have that focus, so, they have different ways. And then this Indian guy is India, and I'm not putting them down. I'm just telling you the truth. There was no meditation. They didn't teach meditation over here or anywhere else of people until these guys started teaching meditation. TM, then yes, Swami Vivekananda, Raj Yoga. And I studied that, and I spent a lot of time on it. That's the Raj Yoga. Raj Guru, Raj Yoga Vidya. And that's what he started studying, the yoga. In the meditation is actually Raj Yoga, and that's where he's Ashtang Yang and all of these and all this training. He went to Yoga Sutra and he trained people where? In India? No. In the US, in Europe. That the people didn't even listen to Vivekananda. They care less about him, right? Yeah. He wasn't known there. Vivekananda, Raj Yoga didn't even read his view. He saw he wrote it all in English, right? So later on, I spent a time, me and my wife, we used to go there 4 a.m. and we'll end at 6 p.m. for like almost 9 months, like 25 years ago. And I found a person called Yoga Acharya, Fremont Temple. I was with me, and we learned the yoga, all the Kundalini yoga, all the basics of yoga, everything you know. But I learned a lot of yoga from Buddhist yoga. They do it different. They'll go to the and it's a chanting and all that. The Buddhist yoga, different kind of. And is anyone better than that? No. You go through all of these and learn from them. Learn and take what you can do, what applies to you, that make you better, kind of thing. So there is a lot of teaching and what, and yeah, and Krishna ji says here, so yatha asasati tas rinu, you will know me, then you will know me. Now he's saying, this is how you will know me. This is how you will recognize me. Na drushtam ya chakchasuna sam mameti pandva. Ham Devi Devta, I've seen this Devi, I've seen this, I've seen this, I've Krishna and Ram. Krishna said, nobody has seen me. Anybody that claims to have seen me with their eyes, well, they're pulling one on you. Where does he say this? In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, he says, oh, yahan par bhi bata rahe hain. Right? Are you going to believe Bhagavad Gita? Or are you going to believe all these people who said they have the Bhagavan ko dekh rahe hain? Agar dekhen to unka darshan. I mean, they can't tell you how he loves. You're going to go through many, many different experiences, my children. Many, many, many. And every step of yoga and meditation purifies you. You will love it. The purification will make you so peaceful and calm. An understanding of yourself and everybody else around you. Negativeness will just drive away. You will become an entertainer and laugher, just like Krishna was, with music and non-music. Your thoughts will be very clear. Your words would be very clear, precise, to the point. It will always come out of your mouth like that. This is the nature that gets built in you. You won't be beating around the bush. It just doesn't happen. Manushyanam sahasreshu kachit yat yati siddhate yat atma api siddhat namaha kachit mam veditaha Manushyanam sahasreshu. Yes. He says, Arjuna asked him the question. If people don't get to that, well, are they going to go to Narak? Dugati? No, Krishna says they don't go to Dugati, but they don't become, they are not yogi yet. You can't just somebody's practicing yoga, the asana. It's not a yogi. So they're practicing, I expect. Yoga has 8, one before you get to that samadhi level, really inside of you. And here, on the third one is just asana. And asana is not for yoga. Yoga means unity. Everything you will do is unity, united. Whether it's your puja or your prayer or rituals, you question the rituals for the right reasons because you want it to into dharma. We don't collect everything and go dump it in the ocean or water and say, Servaidiya. Servane ka vidhi hai keval phool patti, not garbage. That's pollution. You would know everything what it. Mata Kaushalya कहती है कि मैंने कभी पानी में, in the water I must have thrown my hair and all that, and the fishes may have died and suffered a lot. That's why today my son is gone and I am suffering like that. Right? So whatever we do to others, right? As you do, so shall you reap. For every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. Say Isaac Newton. I didn't say that, I'm just repeating it. That's the truth. So Manushyami Sahasreshu, out of thousands and thousands people, only one even tries this. And yet it's 60% of Bhagavad Gita. You go listen to Bhagavad Gita when people start reading it. Out of many, they read through it. Oh yeah, karna, karna. This is like a side thing. Oh yeah, yoga, dhyan karna hai, Bhagavan ko how and what. It's a brush off. It's a side story, right? He's telling you that's the truth. He's telling you right there, chapter 7, verse 3. Kachit yat ati siddhate, and scarcely one out of that 1,000 out of 1 out of millions. He's saying. Manushyanu sahasreshu, right? That, and you add those 1 out of all these millions, right? 1 out of that, maybe kachit yat asti siddhate siddhako kata. But don't give up. He's been successful or becomes a siddhyani. So don't give up. Yat atam api siddhat nam kachit mam veditaha. Out of thousands of one who strive, scarcely one gets to that level. Why? Because you have to go through all this karma and purify yourself. And these things you have to keep on trying and trying and trying and get to the right place before you know how to do that. So, and he says, this as I read earlier, right? Dugati nahi, if you haven't attained that. But if you are doing that next janam, you're going to come and you're going to start and you are going to learn automatically because you would be in that environment. I was in the environment when I was born. 5 years old, I learned some of the yoga from my grandfather. From 5 to 8, he died. Then I learned from my guru's father, who had came to Fiji with my grandfather, Jamuna Prasad, and he used to come spend and then I kind of started spending time with Kamlesh and having fun. And things went, and I didn't say it's before. I said, I've never said that, right? I said, I did, not you. That's like Arjun, this is exactly what Arjun is saying to Krishna.
He was the leader.
I don't deny, right? I was leader, I'm leader right now. So there's nothing wrong being a leader. What kind of leader? That's the question, right? When Arjun saying, hey, Sasura, Swale, Bandhu, or Sambandhin Tatha, these are all my relatives. And you asking me to kill them? You know what Krishna says? I never asked you to kill them. Where did I ask you to kill them? Karmana yadhikarate ma phaleshu kadachana. All I am asking is do your duty. But sir, you are a warrior. Defend yourself. Swadharam na biddhate. Don't run away from your duty and responsibility. Chapter 2, verse 31. That's what he asked us. Now, if your brother or bhanje or whoever they are, or nephew and jija and whoever is trying to kill you and you want to be killed, it's your choice. I'm saying don't get killed. I'm saying defend yourself. Right? Yes, I was a leader. I didn't ask you to jump off the cliff. Right? That's what Krishna is saying here. See, we get the wrong meanings out of it. He never told Arjun to go kill Bhispitama or your guru, or even Arjun. Arjun says that's what Arjun is thinking. That's his mindset. That's why Krishna says Bismeta sa upastitha, meaning you have confusion. That's where confusion, and that's what he's talking about. I didn't tell you to go kill your guru, but if your guru is sitting there and so is Bhispitama, and they bring a young lady and take off all her clothes, you're going to stand there and watch, even though it's your daughter and even though it's your wife? Is that what you're going to do? That's the question. That's the challenge.
He led us to do good things.
Yeah. And, sometimes wrong things too, but, we were kids. We do things, what we thought was sometimes exciting. Kids do that. Krishna did that. Ram did that, right? But I was there when need was there, one of those. That's, just like Krishna is there, right? With his cousin, Arjun. Yat atma api siddhantnam kanchit mam vedate. So one of the first things when you get into the meditation is that I read you roughly, right? That I read, dharam. You can't, steps not going to happen if you go forward. And I'm not going to go non-injury, Modi bind. And, that's why vegetarianism is very basic. It's a first requirement of some sort, right? And then the finite levels of vegetarianism. And then how you eat, and so कहते हैं the body ko kaya kosha hai, anna kaya kosha, what you eat and whatever, that's what you become, that's what you look like, right? And second is breath control ko kaya kaha jata hai. Ap ane juhatu prayanam prane apnam tatha apare pran apan gati rudha pranayam par ayana pranayam par ayana pranayam par ayana. He talks about pranayam all over the place. And this is just verse 4, chapter 29. I believe it talks about it in chapter 5, if I wrote it here. Right, chapter 5, verse 28. Yam tam indriye mano buddhi muni moksh parayana vigat ikcha bhay krodha soya muchyate yavasaha moktaram yajna tapa tapsam sarvalok maha ishwaram siddhatam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shanti gacchati. That's the name. Let me see if he talks about. There's a lot of places he talks about pranayama, but it starts on verse 4, chapter 29. What is pranayama? Pranayama. Pran comes from the word pran. Pran is a Sanskrit word. Technically, according to Vedas, means the eternal energy that resides in us. We sometimes call it Jiv loosely, and we all even call it Atma. But Pran is very definitive in itself. And then we have all this flow of air or breath. that is related to pranayama. So control of all the flow of air. Basically what happens is you have control that eternal prana that resides in you. Not only once you control that eternal breath that resides in you, the prana, the atma, you have become the atma. Now you are experiencing the atma, the prana. So it brings you pran apan gati, right? Rudra, pran ayam par atmanam. So it basically calls inhaling, then exhaling. And there's words in purka, rechak, in kumbhak, and holding the breath. So I don't have too much time here. So we're just gonna speed it up a little bit quickly. So pranayama, there is 7 levels of pranayama, right? And I'm not gonna, well, without understanding the chakras, but we'll get into that if we have time. So we're just gonna go into the breathing, right? Chakras, what is chakra? Some ways say call it energy centers, but Yoga Sutra and Krishna says they are not. They are the energy centers. They kind of sounds like that, but they are energy knots. What are they? They are karmic knots. We have tied it. That's why we have to undo it. Otherwise, why undo it? We're not going to be able to undo it if we didn't do it in the first place. So over time, these are karmic knots, and they are energy knots. And once they are relaxed, everything flows, everything happens. You become more calm, serene, right? So the first one that is not, I do that 600, 700 times, 700 times every morning. And if you go to any funeral, you breathe air, body is there, so you're going to breathe. Not only breathing them, you're breathing that person, whether you like it or not. Even you're wearing mask, you're breathing that person. So how long does it take? You now don't know pranayama. It takes you 12 days to totally get rid of it. That's why it takes 12 days to purify ourselves from the time you see that body. So the first one that is prescribed all the yogis do is known as Kapal Bhati. Kapal means this, right? That's your Kapal. Bhati is the rest, the toes. So purification of your entire body from head to toe is called Kapal Bhati. And the function, you basically don't breathe. You only breathe out. The mouth is closed, and you put your body. I'm not teaching you because you're gonna need all this needs hours and hours and hours of teaching, right? So you see the air goes up. And you can do it fast, like I can do 100 in a minute, like machine gun. Right? So I can do 500 and I time myself, or 700 in 5 minutes. My practice, I do 700 of that. And you will feel, oh, just like everything is drained out, the water we drain out, or the food you have eaten is all cleared out, and how empty you feel. You feel all relieved. Air is locked in every part of our body. And we work, and even when you eat and all that, it's locked. So it's not only water that swells, it's the air also. Remember, everything that is more subtle is more of you. Body, you burn it only this much, right? No matter what energy, you know that 66 or 70% of you is water. But 99% of it is air. And 100% of you is energy. So that is first pranayama. So after that, that's why I asked for a towel. And I don't know what I did with that towel. Don't know, right? Right. Right. So the next one, so this pranayama, if you don't do any, if you just do this every day, right? Remember, you're just blowing the air out of your nose, and you can practice it like slowly. Push it as hard as you can. Let's do 5 times, right? Put your hands over there and the body starts getting straight, doesn't it? So now you can speed it up, speed it up, speed it up. And all the big bellies that you carry will be all disappear. We have to have some yoga. I was already picking on Uma. He doesn't like it, don't give it a hand. I'm entitled to it. That's the, you are Mahabhumanoi. I didn't make that choice, you did. So you can swear after it, it don't bother me. Right? The other one is called Ojas. Ojas. Ojas means purification. If you have cold or anything, but I do all of this every day, right? And Ojas, if you take a deep breath, push it all the way down. No, don't do it. Just watch. Teaching requires you watching first. And I'm not going to ask you to do it, right? But I'm just telling you, right? You breathe it. And when you breathe, it's holding down, you pull your inner muscle up, it tightens it, right? It's like compress it over here. So if I do that, you blow it as hard as well. And it clears everything from all the way. And you do it 5 times, you notice if you have cold in the morning, it's gone, just like that. Practice it, right? But this is all, now it's controlling the airflow. This is to become a yogi. Okay, I do that for 35 minutes every day, every morning. So the next one, right, they call things, the yogis call it alon balon or soham. And there are very levels. I do a higher level of soham. Most people just rechak and what they call a purkha and rechak, which is purkha, and they don't do rechak. They do purkha and kumbhak, which is just breathe and blow out, which is like, then they breathe out through here. They don't. First of all, you learn the right or left, how to close your nose. So when you're breathing, you breathe and take it down, and muscle up, and then it blow it down. And then it's straight, and muscle up, and push it down straight. So you do this about 10 times, right? But that's just a single. The little harsher way is you breathe in, and you count to 5 ohms, or just count to 10 and hold it. Then you breathe it out, right? So that's alon balon. That's number 3. Number 4 is I call Eastern way. What you do, you blow air this way and blow air that way out of your nostril, basically. Again, non-breathing, just like you were doing this. Like, so your stomach is going without going like this. I was teaching some guys, some students were going. No, your body, if you are pushing here, the body will go. If you not watch my stomach, you can see. Going this way and that way, it's automatic, right? And this really tightens and strengthens and pulls. And now you're getting the prana control. So there was a number 3, right? Number 4, they call Kundalini awakening, which is where you take a deep breath, you hold it, and then you go and pronounce it in your mind. You go each chakra, Muladhara, right? So Adhisthana, Manipur, you're pushing it, and the Manipur and Anahata, and you're pushing it there, and you're kind of holding it, and some can even twirl like this. So I can push it, and you can see suddenly I have no stomach, and then you kind of relax, and all the grievances over there is no more, right? So I'm just telling you what a yogi goes through the best, and everything becomes control. And and beautiful Shivali looks at me and winks at me, doesn't bother me. Right? Too bad. Right? So we were at what number? 4, right? And the 5th one is actually called pranayama. You kind of breathe 5 times, and hold the air, right? And then you pull your, no, don't do it, right? And then you pull your inner muscle up, and then you hold it, and you hold it as long as you want. I hold it for 10 count, and then you bring your head up, and you blow it out, like, for example, like this. And as you're breathing, you can swell up, right?
Then you hold again. No air, nothing. Well, after you breathe out, then you go. Take it, and then before you start breathing, and when you do that, you breathe it out and you hold it, you'll find certain level of relief, emptiness. And then from this side, so you always start from your right and then left, and that's called one pranayama. Yoga Sutra for proper cleanliness requires 10, but before meditation, you can only do three. And then do the 3 pranayama, and you were good. Right? And then this you can do. Then I see no evil, hear no evil, and all that kind of thing. Wherever you try to vibrate the sound of Om within you. So you say take this, you start with you take a deep breath first, but you close your ears, right? You close your eyes, you close your nose, and you close your mouth. And you're gonna recite Om. Everybody can practice it, but look at me, right? I'm breathing, and I close, and I say Om, and I vibrate Om from Om, and vibrates all the chakras, right? And you can play. And if you're not sleeping, you have a sleeping problem and all that, and you will sleep like a baby, right? So just try it, right? Just try it. Everybody breathe in, and then close everything, and say Om inside of it without coming out. Say it as loud as you want because nobody else can hear it. Mouth is closed and everything. Good enough. So it's not gonna happen first time. So you can see, you can close your ears, and you just tightly close, not close, you will know it, you can close. And the tighter you close, the more it's gonna vibrate. Now you got Om vibrating, the sound of calmness, the primordial sound, vibrating through every little vein, every little cell of your body, and harmonizing it. That's the 6. The 7 is you hitting each chakra silently. Learn. So what are chakras? So, okay, these are the chakras, but times it up. So we'll end it at that. We have 7 knots, and each one has its peppers. And I'm going to not say too much. So each chakra, it has names. We call Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipur, Anahad, right? Vishud, Agya, and Tasahara, or Brahma Murda. And they have petals, they have colors, and all these things will happen automatically. Now, all the nature, recite Bhu, Hua, Swaha, Maha, Jan, Tap, Satya, all recites there. Now your yogi doesn't look for, ban mein also batate rahe. This is yogi system. All is right. Who else? Gauri Ganesh, by the first chakra, right? Lakshmi Vishnu, second one. Manipur mein kaun? Brahma, Vishnu, Saraswati, Suraswati, Gayatri, Sarda, Rohini, and all the Devi Devata. Shiv Parvati, love chakra, isko kehte hain. We still in duality. So Shiv chakra, it's only colorless now. Because this Shiv has no Parvati, no, this Shiva. It's Om, Shiv Omkara. Then Agya chakra, right? Man Buddhi Ahankar, and Sahasrara. That's Guru chakra, jisko hum kehte hain. Or Brahma. This is Guru and this is Brahma. That's why they call it Agya chakra, right? Then all the elements of the nature. Dharti is, right? Earth, water, right? Fire, right? And then it's the dharti of fire, air, right? And ether, right? Space and void. Nothing beyond cosmos. Dharam, Kshama, Virakti, Daya, Shaucham, Chit, Akash. All recites. Another 7 things. Sa re ga ma pa dha ga ma re. All that's there. All the sound vibrating for you. You can start. Music becomes second nature. Colors become second nature.
And उसी को तो कहते हैं, these are the keys. बोले, the water is on top. It's like a well is on the top. The road is below. कुआं ऊपर, रस्सी नीचे. ब्रह्म नहीं जहां विष्णु नहीं. Right? I'm going to just let you know a little bit. देवी देवता कोई नहीं. Krishna ji says there कि वही ब्रह्म धाम है, फिर वहां से आना जाना नहीं. I'm going to read that, but that's what it is. कोई के नहीं, बस तुम्हें सब. वैकुंठ नहीं, कैलाश नहीं, बंधु नहीं, शत्रु नहीं. वहां पे chapter 5, I believe, if you want to read it, in chapter 5, in 26, somewhere, Krishna says that. But anyway, it says like this. Okay, let me see if I can remember the slow somewhere. Nice to know. Yeah. Nada, nada bhasate surya, na shashi angana pavaka, yat gamtwana nirvatate, tatadham paramam mama. That's the supreme goal. Tatadham paramam, wahi brahma dham hai. Yivam bhuvanat brahmadi loka puna vartani arjuna. You're gonna come back. Lekin param dham, there is nobody. Na surya, na chandrama, na रोशनी. रोशनी का कोई काम नहीं, अंधकार का नाम नहीं. ब्रह्म धाम आनंद है, ऐसो ब्रह्म धाम है. गीता में श्री कृष्ण सही जो नहीं, हम लोग वहां जाएंगे, वैकुंठ लोग जाएंगे, कैलाश लोग जाएंगे, दो लोग जाएंगे. Well, not, you know, Krishna we use certain rituals. Krishna used Mahabharata as a ritual to give us this teaching for Bhagavad Gita. Right? He just gave it, and it's still living with us. So these are all the keys, and they need the key. It's the locks, and the keys to unlock those are lam, vam, ram, yam, hum, om, lam. And as he was saying this, when you recited, you're going to get shakes and all that, and Krishna lets you become fearless, or you may have other experiences, or you're gonna in sleep, you're gonna see all kinds of dreams or your past lives and whatnot, and you don't know what it is. But that's why you need to go through a guru, somebody who has gone through this study. You can. My shishas always call me. Shishas are students, right? Sometimes when they're dreaming, they're going through things and whatnot. Ram went through this training, right, Ram? Raj Yoga. Well, the yoga. How old were you, Ram? Okay. So how did Guruji do all these yoga asanas and all that? You guys? Him and his girlfriend and a bunch of students joined. But then I had other students. Shannon is, his cousin, right? Yeah, he got master's degree, doing PhD and all that, talking about this. And Guruji has learned all these things now. Now she's talking about these things with her friends and whatnot. And they want, but I don't. I only teach young people. She's 16, still too old for me. At this age, I don't want to, ऐसा कर दे, यहाँ छोड़ दे, touch me here and all that. I'm not going through that. But I have been doing that for the last 20 some years. Okay. So this is what Krishna talks about. And in the end, have gone there and never coming back. That's what. Yeah. Brahmana bhuvanat loka puna avartani arjunaha mam upate tu kauntya puna janam na vedate. Now, even if you go to any swara, you're going to come back. And once you go to this Brahm, kauntya puna janam na vedate, you are no rebirth. There is no rebirth. Right? And he repeats that on and on and on, without that. Om iti aksharam brahm. Now he says, when you recite after all the mantras and all that, chapter 8, verse 13, Antame, he says, the ultimate month is just Om. Where does it say that? Chapter 8, verse 10. Then you want to say calm. So that if you remember, Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, they all end with Om. Right? And even the Almighty, when they are described in Latin or in English, they call it omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent. We call it Sarvata, Sarvat, Sarvyapa, right? They use the proper term, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent. Yes, right? So it's a generic term. So यहाँ पे कर ओम इति अक्षरम ब्रह्म विहारना माम अनुसमरना या प्रायन्ति तज्ज अन्नदेहम या अति परमम गति. How, remember how we said, ये करेगा मोक्ष किस रास्ता, मोक्ष कैसे होगा? कृष्ण जी tells you in one slok, chapter 8, verse 13. Om iti aksharam brahm. Ye sab, while you are in control, first you have to go through all these things that I just went over to become a yogi, and that's your lifetime, and maybe many janmas, but you'll get in the right path. We'll start at school. Viharana means you say it loud. Now, in the beginning you might say, oh, or very in the beginning I used to do it in Sare Gama. So now I just sit down and I'm going silent, and all those sounds are happening automatically. I don't, inside of me. Viharana mam anusamaran, one focus. And when you're saying Om, now I don't even focus, I don't even think of Krishna. The light happens automatically. I mean, I'm not supposed to tell you a lot of detail. I'm just kind of basically what happens over time if you have been doing it 25, 30 years or so, right? Ya prayanti tajyam anadeham. Now, based on at the dying time, जैसे कल मैंने बताया था, हिया तय जब ते निकाली बाना ओंकार कहीं छोड़े उपराना. कौन? Sarvan, right? And if that's what you are glowing and leaving the prana with, antim samay, not saying Om, the Om inside you. That doesn't, people are dying, sometimes they can't say nothing. You don't know what's inside. Or you can say, oh, well, we read the whole Bhagavad Gita and there were 1,004 Pandits came and they recited all this. Yeah, but persons, all this is all blocked inside. Can't hear it, it's not going to go there. Believe me. Trust me on that. Krishna guarantees it. If your lifestyle is different, that's what you're going to be hearing. You're going to hear in your lifestyle. Go to bed and see what you dream. Right? Ya prayanti tajyam anadeham sayati paramam gatam. Now that's moksha. Saya attains supreme abode and is never coming back. You are, and that's one paramam gati when you get into that. That's amazing. Now this is, if you, I told you where it starts. Chapter actually starts in chapter 2 in the end, right? And then in chapter 3, then more in chapter 4, and entire chapter 5, then entire chapter 6, chapter 7. I'm reading chapter 8 and 9 and so forth and other teachings. And why are we ignoring this? Right? Why don't we pay more attention to this? This is, now look at the white people, right? They, I'm just saying it to give you a hard time. I give you a free rein. I mean, look at, people don't call them Hindus and all that. That's what they're doing. I mean, I can't say I learned it all from them. I learned it from all kinds of people. And, the funniest thing was like 7 years, no, when I was 60, I went to Himalayas. And this guy, this old man, I was 60, I believe. Must be right, 10 years ago, 12 years ago. I went Shannon and all that. And one Nepali, the old man, and and it was cold like anything, it was like below 30 degrees or something. I mean, in the top of, I was coming back from Gangotri where River Ganges starts, and over there, we kind of interacted with each other and I spent some time with him. And, I had some weird experiences, and very nice. But this guy is sitting there and doing all this meditation and no shirt, nothing, and one little scarf. And, I mean, it's like my height over maybe my chest, but, his thighs are as big as my whole, this thing, each one. And he's sitting there and he had this, what we call pahari or mountain top. And I understood him, many things. And we kind of clicked. And I spent some time. And I said, okay, bacha tern mana idde baitna humne pranayam karing. I said, okay, he's talking this lingo and asked me to come and meditate with him. I said, oh, sure. So I go there and he says, hey, kitne baje aa rahe? I would be there 6 a.m. So I didn't want to say 4 a.m. I was 100% sure he'll be there 4 a.m. So I didn't want to say 4 a.m. So I went there 6 a.m. And I got all my jackets on and this American jacket and the thick as this thing and got, on top of that, a blanket on. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, and I'm like, everything is shaking out of control. And this guy puts a hand on, right? This is the same thing. And like fire came on me. I mean, he puts a hand on me and just like I'm on fire, something of that sort. And I try to, and I get goosebumps right now, and his name was something like some beer thing or something like that, right? And I told him my name, and he was so excited and whatnot, and the purity level. And then at the end of the day, I tried to give him money and all that. He didn't take one rupee from me. I tried to force, no, and I don't know who he was. To this day, I don't know. And I told the guy, my brother, who was this guy? Says, no. And some people say, I've never seen him. I have, you never know who you're going to run into. Any certain path you take, and that one I cannot forget. And it's like a certain kind of awakening happened to me at that time. Oh, of course, I have been with a lot of yogis, a lot of my life, since, last 25 years especially. So I love talking about this. I love talking about yoga. I love talking about, because this is the ultimate truth. This is the eternal truth. And I have read the shlokas, and you guys can hear some of those shlokas and whatnot, has been. So I want to thank Kamlesh and Suresh mostly. And, thank you for, listening. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for the good times. I enjoyed being here. And I was going to read the last couple of shlokas out of chapter 18. What Krishna says, the last 3 shlokas, so we can conclude the whole Bhagavad Gita. In chapter 18, verse 69, it says, Na cha tasmat manusyetu kachita me priye krit tamaha bhakti na cha me tasmat anne priyeta mrishdi. The follower of the Gita would very soon become a yogi. Krishna says, Na cha tasmat manusyesu. Usse barke, there is nobody greater than the person, dearer to me, O Krishna, who shall recite these mantras, who shall recite these shlokas, lives by these shlokas, and shall there be another candidate. And bhavati cha nama tasmat anne priye bhavi, shall be another on earth dearer to me, and that lives by the words that I have spoken. That's what he's saying, right? And he says, Adi echate cha chayam dharmayam sambadam apyaho jnanayatente aham ishta sayam yati me matihi. 17 में श्री कृष्ण जी कहते हैं, and he who will study this sacred dialogue and teaches to others Gyan, there is no difference between me and him. I am him and he is me. Just like I am Brahm and Brahm is me. By him I shall have been worshipped. Through him I shall be worshipped. That's what Krishna is saying. Or also the those who hear, kaise sunta hai? Shradhavan an asya cha nayatu api ya naraha sa api manuchyantah shubhan lokam prayapayan bhanantu punya karma. The man, the person who hears this, full of faith and truth, even he, the person who said, in one focused, cha api mo chantu shaman loke shradhavan an asya cha. An asya cha ka arth hota hai, he is focused. जो सुनता है ध्यान लगा करके इसको सुनता, paying attention to what he said, whether he believes it or not, then tries to experience it by himself. He shall be righteous. और धर्म को समझने लगेगा. I'll get him into the path of religion. He will open up it. Even he will be liberated from evil, shall attain the auspicious regions of the righteousness. Auspicious regions, yani swarg, where people go who are in dharam. They'll attain dharam and will go to, and follow the dharam and go to dharam. So, in the last shlok recited by Krishna, and this is directed at Arjuna. Those others were directed at us. Who are we? Through this Bhagavad Gita, it tells you who we are. Right? How we do it, lot of things, that's not the job of Bhagavad Gita. How to do it, that's where you need the teachers. If that, the yoga shastra, yoga books I have, like 1 dozen of them. Kundalini awakening, each Upanishad goes through that, right? Gita is a Upanishad, right? Vedanta, and it teaches you how to go from one question to the other question to the other question, like this one. This one would be in Mundaka Upanishad. Markandeya Upanishad is very clear. Here's where Krishna says his last slok to Arjuna. Kachit ete shrutam par tve eka prem chetasa kanchit agyan samoha pranashte dhananam jayaha pranashte dhananjaya pranamaste dhananjaya. It says with a smile, with love, with prem, with decency, with respect. Hey Arjuna, has this been heard by you, oh my dear child? With an attentive mind, because you couldn't have heard this if you didn't pay attention. Were you paying attention what I said to you? Has the delusion of your ignorance been destroyed, O Dhananjay? That's what the whole thing was, right? Vismayata, delusion. We are in deluded world, this material world. And if we listen, we pay attentive to Bhagavad Gita and try to find the truth, we will find the truth, because Gita only speaks the truth. You will find we have so many books, and I'm not going to name them, but we call them by names and whatnot, that contradict Bhagavad Gita. To me, this is the truth. This is the truth. It tells you, because you can experience this. You can verify this. Everything Krishna says, you can experience it, you can verify it. It's not some storytelling. It's not some storytelling. Every yoga, everything. If you don't experience it now, you experience it. If you don't experience it, you put it aside. That's what he's telling you. If it doesn't make sense, put it aside. Oh, what level you want to go experience it? That's what it is. Now, Arjuna later on says, yes, now I understand everything. That was the last one. Has your doubts. So this is why we do ritual, to get rid of your doubts. That's why we do Bhagavad Gita when we do Bhagavad Gita, to get to the truth, to understand the truth. Om Shri Mahabharate Shat Sahastrayam Sahitayam Vayasikyam Vishma Parvari Srimad Bhagavad Gita Shaktisado Srimad Gita Upanishadyastu Brahm Vidyayam Yog Shastri Shri Krishna Arjun Samvade Moksha Sannyas Yogora Ashto Madhyay बोलो श्री गीता माता की जय। ओम श्री गीता गंगा च गायत्री सीता सत्या सरस्वती ब्रह्म विद्या ब्रह्मले त्रिसंध्या मुक्ता गेहनी अर्धमात्रा चिदानंदा बोधायणी भैनाशिनी वेदतरै परानन्ता त्वर्थ ज्ञान ज्ञात मंजरी। श्री राधे कृष्णाय गोविंदाय हरि ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखाभाग् भवेत्। हरि ओम शांति शांति शांति। आप सभी जनों के श्री चरणों में इस दास का प्रणाम स्वीकार है। जय श्री कृष्ण। सुरेश उठ के
उस परम पिता परमेश्वर को भी ध्यान करते हैं कि प्रभु आप ही की महिमा है, आप ही की दया है, आप ही की दृष्टि है। तभी जो आज हुआ है और हो रहा है सब उन्हीं परमात्मा ही की कराई हुई है, दी हुई है, और उन्हीं के शक्ति से आज हम सब यहाँ पर एकत्रित हुए हैं। जो भगवान नहीं कराते तो हम लोग भी शायद आज यहाँ पर नहीं पहुँचते। तो उस परम पिता परमेश्वर को सर्वप्रथम धन्यवाद करते हैं और भाई श्री को भी अनेकों को कोटि कोटि प्रणाम करते हैं, धन्यवाद करते हैं कि इनका भी दर्शन हुआ। और परम पिता की यही खेल है कि जैसे हम लोग कहते हैं कुछ करनी कुछ कर्म गति कुछ पूर्व जन्म का देन, तो परमात्मा ही की कृपा ऐसे रही होगी कि आज हम सब यहाँ पर एकत्रित हुए हैं। उमा भाई उमा जी, प्रियम तथा उनके परिवार और बहने जी के साथ, शिवाली के साथ, उनके बेटों के साथ, तो परमात्मा को हम बार बार धन्यवाद करेंगे कि माता जी के जो आयु की थी, जैसे कहते हैं पेड़ में फल पक जाता है तो गिरने का फिर कोई समय नहीं रहता है, तो उसी तरह से आज हम सब शायद शोकाग्रस्त हैं, लेकिन परमात्मा जी की कृपा ऐसी ही थी और यहाँ पर अमेरिका में आकर और अंतिम चरण अपने जीवन का निर्वाह की। तो परमपिता परमेश्वर की कृपा भाई श्री पर बने, तुमा प्रियम तथा परिवार पर बने, ताकि जो कार्य हम कर रहे हैं वो बिना विघ्न बाधा का संपूर्ण हुए। और विशेषकर अनेकों को इनको हम आशीर्वाद देते हैं, धन्यवाद तो दे ही रहे हैं, और भगवान ऐसे इनका स्वास्थ्य में, परिवार में, घर गृहस्थी में और बल विद्या बुद्धि सभी को प्राप्त कराते रहे भगवान। और यही हमारी परिवार के तरफ से, भाइयों की तरफ से, अगर कोई और भी कुछ कहना चाहेगा तो कह सकते हैं, लेकिन सभी पूरे परिवार के तरफ से, पूरे कुटुंब के तरफ से सभी को जय श्री सीताराम, जय श्री राधे श्याम, ओम शांति शांति शांति।
विश्वानि देव सवितुर्दुरितानि परासुवा यद भद्रन्तन आसुहा। We pray to the mighty Lord, Supreme Lord, Supreme God, Param Brahm. He is the ultimatum who can give everything. Savita, He is a giver of everything. He has got everything that you can ask for or you can think of. The main thing about this mantra is we are praying to the Lord that please help us to get rid of all our weaknesses. Whatever weaknesses we have in ourselves, please help us to get rid of them and become a person who is respected because of his deeds, his actions. And the word we use in the Hindi language or Sanskrit language is Bhadra Purush. Bhadra Purush means someone who has got all the qualities of a person who is admired by everyone. So let us all think in the same way that we pray to the Lord that please get rid of all our weaknesses and lead us to the Bhadra Purush. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Samir.